Good morning, guys. It is Saturday. I'm on my way to work. Sorry for not posting vlogging yesterday. Today I was just so tired when I got home. But yay! So I'm rushing to work. I got distracted because I wanted to go check out the book from a certain point of view, which I told you guys about. After hearing that apparently there's something with Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is like one of my all-time top favorite characters. It is literally like Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Anakin, and Princess Leia. They're like my favorite Star Wars characters. It's like 3 good guys and a bad guy. So I wanted to see this because apparently in this book there's Obi-Wan has a vision of the future for Force Awakens. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta see that. So I went to go find the book and I got nervous at first because I went to where the Star Wars stuff usually is and there was no Star Wars stuff. They moved it all to a special section, which makes me really happy. But I found it and I went to go find the story, and the story is actually called Master and Apprentice, and it's not from Obi-Wan's point of view. It's Qui-Gon! Oh my gosh, he's like one of my other all-time favorite characters, and it was only like one movie. Everybody's like, Qui-Gon was bad. I'm like, no, he wasn't. He was good. Qui-Gon was awesome. Qui-Gon was like the only Jedi who was like, okay, what we're doing is kind of wrong. We should be following the will of the Force. I'm kind of like Qui-Gon a lot. So finding that story and realizing it's not actually Obi-Wan's point of view, it's Qui-Gon's. It's like, oh, that's amazing, because before this, the only thing we had with Qui-Gon's point of view was, it really wasn't his point of view, it was scenes in the book Kenobi where Obi-Wan is meditating and he's talking to Qui-Gon. And that was it. So, that was all we had. And it's kind of awesome to have the Qui-Gon point of view, because Qui-Gon is the one who teaches Obi-Wan the secret of the world, basically how to become immortal. So it's so cool. I'm so excited. So I was debating about getting this book. So I also want to get Captain Phasma and the New Look book. So I was debating about getting this book, but now that I know not only is it canon, but the chapter about Obi-Wan is actually Qui-Gon, I'm like, yes! It makes me insanely happy. So now I will be for sure spending like $35 to get from a certain point of view. Just for that one story. I haven't read any of the others yet, but they have a story by E.K. Johnson and Ashley Eckstein, which is really cool. E.K. Johnson is the one who wrote the book Ahsoka, and that was an amazing book, so I can't wait to read that short story. So yay, and I get my schedule today, and hopefully I'm going to hear from a possible job at some point. So today will be a good day. It is rainy, it is cloudy, but it doesn't matter. Today will be a good day. Hey guys, I'm back home. As you can obviously tell, I'm in my room, where I am always in my room. So today work was long. It was great. Saturdays seem to go by faster because we're busy on Saturdays, but it was awesome. I had a very cute moment today where I think I went above and beyond customer service. I had a lovely young woman, a mom with her little baby, whom I'm going to estimate was about 5 to 8 months old. And she was like, she wanted to try on these 2 Medusa dresses because she's going as Medusa for Halloween, but obviously it's kind of difficult to try on these very gorgeous, lovely costumes when you have a little boy who just wants your attention. She's like, and I family will say to parents, hey, if you have a little kid and you don't want them in the dressing room with you because it's going to be kind of hard to do a costume, you know, I'm right here. They can stay with me. I will keep an eye on them, so I'm not going anywhere, because literally when I'm a fitting room attendant, I have to sit outside the fitting room. Like, literally, that was pretty much all I did today, was sit outside the fitting room. Very rarely did I get to interact with customers today after, like, 12 o'clock, which was very, it's sad, but I enjoyed it. But, so I sat there, and she's like, here, can you hold him? I'm like, yeah. So I have this little baby on my lap, and this mom comes up with her 2 kids trying costumes. So I have this little boy on my lap. He's sitting on my lap. I'm like, hi, you're so cute. Bouncy, 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 playing with him. And he was so sweet. He helped me put away one of the costumes the boys tried on. I'm like, oh, you're so good. You're such a good helper. And I gave him cardboard to play with, which when the mom came back out, she said that's his favorite toy. And I'm like, oh. So it was sweet. I really liked it. So I enjoy it. One of our employees has a little girl that he will bring in sometimes as she runs around the store, and it's very sweet. So I like kids. I'm really good with kids. So today was a good day. It is long. I don't know if you can tell. It is raining, and guess what? We are under a flood watch, apparently. Last time I checked this morning before I left for work, Midland is under a flood watch till like 4 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. I didn't go to church last Sunday because of the MSU U of M game, which I watched, so I skipped. And tomorrow morning, it is supposed to storm. Not sure if my mom will give me a ride. So that's kind of up in the air. I might get up and check, and if she doesn't give me a ride, I'm just not going to go to church. I feel bad saying this, but I talked about it with some people, and it just feels like this church. I've talked about my church. I love going to church. It's like a reset button for me. I love my faith. I love expressing my faith. My faith is a huge part of my life. It's a huge part of who I am. You know, there's more to me than just Star Wars and Disney and being a weirdo. My faith is so important to me. So I love going to church, especially this church, because it's the church my great-grandparents went to until they joined Holy Scripture. So I love this church. The problem is the people of the church, they're elderly, and at this point the church is kind of starting to get on the verge of closing, which is happening in many churches all across the country, which is sad. And one of the reasons they want to get, because they say people don't know who our Savior is. They don't know where our Savior is, or the church. So they want to go out and do all this mission work. The problem is the vast majority of the church community, the church family, is elderly. And I've mentioned this. They're all in like their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, their 90s. We have a church member who's like in her hundreds. So they're all elderly. They're all retired. They all have other stuff they want to do. They don't want to really do anything. Like one idea was doing a ministry outreach to single moms offering childcare after school, having the kids come to the church and tutoring them and stuff, which I would so totally do. I would be willing to help. The problem is that everybody thinks it's a good idea, it's a great idea, but nobody really wants to put in the effort or volunteer to do this. So that's what makes it hard at this church. Like clearly for VBS and the car share, it was literally like trying to get people, a fight to get people to come. I just realized how dorky I look with my hair pulled back. To come help out at VBS and the car show. And I've said this before, I feel like that the younger members, myself and the two brothers, we don't really have a voice, but we're the people they're trying to attract. They're trying to attract people our age. They're trying to attract the millennials. They're not doing a very good job, especially when they have 3 millennials in the church. And a lot of the time, I feel like I'm kind of ostracized because of the fact that I am a millennial. You know? I talked about this with one of my friends. It's kind of this thing that everybody says millennials are lazy, that we don't have any work ethic, that we don't take accountability for our actions, that we don't know anything, la da da da. I'm a millennial, okay? I was born in 1988, so I'm like an early millennial. But I am a millennial. And I can tell you right now, I am the opposite of everything. I think I have to be held accountable for my actions. I don't think there's a way you can get around it. You have to be held accountable for what you do. I want to work. I want a job. That I don't feel like I can be lazy sometimes, but I want to work. I don't like being lazy. One of the reasons why I got back into writing was I was finding myself being bored out of my mind. So I don't like having nothing to do. Writing gives me something to do. And I love to do it. So I feel like all the bad stuff millennials say, yeah, there are some millennials who live up to that stereotype, but not all millennials are like that. So it's that thing that you can't paint everybody from the same group with the same brush. I feel I don't meet that stereotype. My brother doesn't meet that stereotype. I know very few people my age who are millennials who fit that stereotype. So I feel like it's horrible. One of the reasons I feel upset about this is I saw a thing about a guy who builds a graveyard mourning trends that have died. And one of the things this year was accountability for millennials. That we whine and stuff. And I'm like, that's not fair. Okay, that's really not fair to say that we don't feel like we have to be held accountable for our actions. That's really not fair, because when you look at who's out there protesting, a vast majority of them are millennials like me, and we're out there and we know what's right and we know what's wrong. So it's not fair to say the millennials have no accountability. That's really not fair. So it's just, as struggling, and I've gotten back to my faith, and now I find myself struggling not with my faith. My faith is stronger than it ever has been. I am struggling with this church, with finding people, and at the same time, I don't know. I know people don't like to talk about faith because they always kind of attribute it to politics. My faith to me is separate from my politics. There are some things I believe that I have prayed about, and yet I believe them because it's that. Basically, you want to be a good person, so I believe I want to be a good person. And I keep saying this. The one thing my mom always taught me was love the sinner, not the sin. So I'm going to love you no matter who you are. I'm just not, if you do something bad, I'm not going to love that. So if it's storming tomorrow, my mom doesn't really want to give me a ride, I'm not going to go to church. I'll probably just do my devotions, which I'm finishing my year-round devotion tomorrow. 365 days, and I did it. This will be like the third time I've read the entire Bible, but the first time I've done it in a year. The first couple times I actually did it like as a novel. So this is the first time I've read the Bible in a year. Every single day, except for Saturday. So proud of myself for doing that. But it's getting hard. But next week, I'm going to be really tired because I have my work schedule for next week. I have tomorrow off, which is probably another reason why I won't go to church, because I got to go shopping tomorrow and stuff. But I work Monday 10 to 4. I will have Tuesday off. Wednesday 10 to 4. Well, Monday will suck because Monday is the premiere of Rebels. So I'm not really sad about that because I'll probably come home, write for a couple hours, eat, write for a couple hours, watch Rebels, go to bed. Wake up, write, clean. Wednesday I'll work 10 to 4, which I'm not too caught up about. Thursday we'll have off. The thing I'm caught up about is I have to work Friday 10 to 4. Last week was the MSU U of M game. Next Friday is the Dow High Midland High game. I'm a Dow High Charger, and I keep talking about this, how I've only missed the game a couple times. I am going to the game Friday night. We will probably leave about 9:30, which means we might not get home till 10 o'clock, which means I might not be in bed. Well, I'm usually not in bed till 1:30 anyway. But I will have worked a 6-hour shift, gone to a football game, and then I have to get up at 7:30 Saturday morning to go do a 10-hour shift at my job. I'm going to be freaking exhausted next Saturday at work, because I will have gone to a football game. Thankfully, we're not going to Bronner, so I don't know when we're going to Bronner, but hopefully soon. I'm actually hoping we wait and go till after Halloween, because then I should have a pretty nice paycheck. I know for sure I will be working the 28th, which is the weekend of Halloween, which I will probably be working 10 to 5, so I'm not that too caught up. But I'm in the midst of trying to find another job, and so far nothing has bitten, so I'm getting really frustrated and really nervous because Christmas is coming up. I have Pokemon is coming out, and I want to get the new Pokemon game. Obviously, Last Jedi is coming out. I want to get tickets to go see it, and I'm actually going to go see it on the 17th. It comes out the 15th, and the reason I'm going to go see it on the 17th is I'm still going to go see it opening weekend. But my brother and I discovered this last year. It's actually kind of nicer to go see it on a Sunday. We went to go see Rogue One, I think at 2 or 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Yeah, 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. That's when we went to go see Rogue One, the weekend it opened. And it was nice. It wasn't a busy crowd. It wasn't insane. It was actually a decent-sized crowd. There was still a lot of people. It still felt like it was opening weekend, so everybody was still excited to see the movie. And it was nice. It was nice going on a Sunday. So that's my plan this year, is I want to go see The Last Jedi on the 17th, which is the Sunday, the weekend it opens, so that we kind of get that less crowd and we have a better chance of getting tickets, which I don't know. I might try buying them online again. I think I had an issue last year doing that, so I'm going to try buying them online again, because that was nice having the tickets and knowing I could get it before the show was sold out. But I can't do that until I post the show times. So I think I purchased the Rogue One tickets like a week in advance, so I'm not, one of the reasons I'm not doing them this early is we're not going to go to an IMAX theater, because the nearest one I think is in Saginaw, and I frankly don't really want to go to an IMAX theater. I think it would make me sick. I mean, I barely tolerate going to the Midland NCG cinemas here, and I don't really want to go see the movie in 3D. Like 3D movies are cool, and I've seen a couple of them, but for me it's a pain. Like I went to go see Alice in Wonderland, and I kept getting a headache from the 3D glasses. So I don't really like 3D movies. So it's cool they're doing The Last Jedi in 3D. They did 3D, but they're converting it in 3D. They shot it into 2D and they're converting it. So, but that's the plan. Is we're gonna go see. My brother and I will go see it on the 17th. I'm hoping my brother likes this one. So far, his favorite Star Wars movie has been Rogue One. He loves Rogue One, which is kind of surprising, but he really liked Rogue One when we went to go see it. That's his favorite Star Wars movie so far is Rogue One. My favorite Star Wars movie is I always say my favorite one is Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is one of my favorite. And the reason it's my favorite is because of Obi-Wan. It's the same reason why I like Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite because of Obi-Wan. Basically, I like the prequels just for Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's it. I do like the originals. I don't have a favorite Star Wars movie, actually. I just love them all. So, but my brother is a big Rogue One fan. He loves K2SO, partly because the guy is played by Alan Tudyk, and my brother loves Alan Tudyk. So, but my brother is a Star Wars fan. He was really happy. The one thing he got excited about for Force Awakens is my brother's favorite parts in New Hope and Return of the Jedi were the trench runs on the Death Star. Those are his favorite parts. His favorite part of the Star Wars movie. That's one reason why he wasn't such a big fan of the prequels. Although when he was younger, he absolutely adored the pod racing thing. That was his favorite thing. I actually think he had the pod racing video game. But he went nuts in Force Awakens because they don't do the trench run once. They do it twice. So he was like, freaking out over that. So we'll have to see. I don't think there's going to be a trench run in Last Jedi because, I don't know. I'm just excited for it. I mean, it's awesome. And I love steering Star Wars love. Like I told a mom a couple days ago about Forces of Destiny. She had never heard it. And she had a little girl who was a Star Wars fan. I'm like, oh, there's this really cool show called Forces of Destiny. It's aimed at elementary school kids, mainly girls. And it's like the female heroes of Star Wars, Princess Leia, Padme, Ahsoka. And it's about how they do how everyday acts turn them into heroes. You don't need to do these amazing acts. It's all about staying true to yourself and embracing who you are. And her mom's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I'm 29 years old. You know, I have like the worst self-confidence ever. I don't believe I can do anything. It's like, I'm a good writer, but I'm not writing original stuff. So I feel like I have like no confidence at all. So I'm always amazed when I post a chapter and people are like sending me reviews and they're saying, oh my God, your writing's amazing. It's so good. And I'm like, really? Because a lot of the time I think my chapters are horrible, especially towards the end, because I'm just rushing to get them done. But people love them. So, and the requests I get are not, can you do this or do that? So most of the time it's, can I do more, like the most recent one was, can I do more Anakin and Obi-Wan scenes? I'm like, okay, coming up. So, it's mostly that. They want to see more of these character interactions, which I can do. I actually might do an interlude that's just the two of them. I also had a request. I wrote a story for Las Vegas, and I called it Why, and it was a Star Wars story, and a girl read it and she really liked it, and so she's asking me if I could do one where the characters have to confront the idea of suicide, which is another concept that isn't really found in the Star Wars universe, is this idea of suicide. And I think it's only mentioned a few times, and one of the times it's mentioned is actually in, what is it? It's the one where R2 gets kidnapped. Ahsoka says suicide is not the Jedi way. So it's like, that's it? But there's mentions of it on Wikipedia, but I've never seen it mentioned inside Clone Wars, so it's really just this thing about just giving up. So she wants me to do something about suicide. I'm like, I think I can do that. I think I'm going to do it later in the series. I know one of the arcs I'm definitely going to be covering from Clone Wars is going to be the Citadel arc. That was a really good one. And one of my favorite clones, Echo, dies. And originally I was going to have Echo live, but I think I'm going to, I think I'm not going to change that. And I think that's where I'm going to deal in with this idea of suicide and make it more than just a mention in terms of war. So I really think that would be good. The reason I did the wise thing is, like, in Star Wars, you never really hear about the everyday crimes. It's always the bigger crimes, like the diplomatic ties, the wars. It's never like the smaller things like shootings or muggings or stuff like that, because Jedi don't deal with stuff like that. So I really wanted to write the story because my character Annalise was raised on Earth, so she will have known about this stuff and have this horrible event happen on Coruscant, probably one of the safest planets because you have everybody there, and kind of expose the Star Wars characters to this facet of Earth culture. So apparently I did a really good job, so I'm glad. I was worried it was going to offend a lot of people, but it didn't, so I'm glad about that because it's my therapy. So tomorrow I'm mainly going to be shopping, and I'm going to actually start shopping for Christmas stuff, and the reason is, my table's on the floor. My room is, as you can see, as you've seen in all my videos, is Star Wars up. I have nothing but Star Wars in my room pretty much, so that's going to make it hard. So my plan for Christmas is, you see my posters up here. They have pins at the top. So my plan is I'm going to get garlands, and I'm going to put the garlands, drape them over the top, and have them come down the sides of the posters. That way my room is kind of decorated for Christmas, and I include my Star Wars posters, but don't want to take them down. So that was the main issue, was how was I going to decorate around them, because I have more than I did last year. Last year I didn't have this many, I think last year I didn't do anything with them. So this year I'm going to incorporate them into my design by draping garlands around them. And it makes sense because all the new Star Wars movies are being released around Christmas, so might as well decorate it for Christmas. So I'm going to put garlands on the top of each poster and have the garlands draped down the sides. And then I don't think I'm going to take Rogue One. My original plan was I was going to take down my Rogue One poster and do something there. But I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because I have over here, this wall is empty because that's where the episode 9 poster is going to go in a couple of years. So I have 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7. And then 8 will go here where Rogue One is, and then 9 will go on that wall. But for now, that wall is blank, so I can put something on that wall for Christmas. And then I have these bells right here, which I got from the Dollar Tree, that they go on my door handle. And I have signs that will go on my door. And then my Christmas tree is going to go right here, like kind of in the middle of my window. So right here will be my Christmas tree, which is almost 6 foot. I think it's like 5 something. But my Christmas tree is going to go right here. So this bench, which will be covered with a Christmas blanket, and I have Christmas pillows, that's going to be decorated. And that bench, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put it over here or if I'm going to move the stuffed animals, and if it will fit, if I'll put it right there. And that will make it easy for me to have my computer out because my outlet is right there. And I will just have to find some place to move my garbage can. So, and then the tree will, of course, be all decorated, so I'm going to need to get candy canes and tinsel. I think I have an ornament hook, so I'm covered there. So this will be garland. There will be, I think I have some window decals, so I'll have nativity scene decals and winter decals. So this will be nativity. This will be winter. I have like a polar bear and reindeer I put on here because when I have the tree out, these don't close. My blinds don't close. So I put like a polar bear and a reindeer, and then I'll have a present, a tinsel present that will probably go right here in front of my stereo. And then a lot of the figurines on top of my bookcase, those will get put away. So I know it's crazy. It's not even Halloween. I work at a Halloween store and I'm planning Christmas. Don't ask. But Sunday I'm going to start buying stuff for Christmas. I actually have it all planned out when my tree is going up and everything. And I still have to make a list. I will show you guys another day all the Christmas music, CDs, and movies I have. I'm not kidding. I have a ton. I think on my computer I have close to 200 Christmas songs. Yeah. That's a lot. And that's not all of them I have on CD either. Alright, I'm going to get going because I want to get some food. I got to watch some videos. I'm going to try to get a little writing done today. So, I will talk to you guys later. As always, this is the Mission Girl sending you lots of love, hugs, and prayers. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.